As soon as my kids could talk, they started asking for a puppy. For over a decade, my husband and I put them off with various betta fish, hermit crabs, and once, before the shocking murder suicide, hamsters. Dogs were so much work, right? And as far as I was concerned, we already had enough dirty, smelly, food motivated creatures making a mess in our home. But when we moved into a house with a fenced in yard, it was time. Several of us had allergies, so I researched hypoallergenic dogs and found a local breeder who was expecting a litter of pups literally engineered to be non shedding, dander free, and sweet. The breeder's weekly updates on Pink Girl, her placeholder name, were always the same. She was calm. And since we were, relatively speaking, a calm family, it was a match. On our week 5 visit, the breeder said as much. But the day before we were scheduled to pick up Pink Girl, we got the voicemail. She won't go in her crate. She howls when left alone. She has quite a little mind of her own. I called Linda back. Do you think she has anxiety issues? I said. Why? Linda responded. Do you? Now I know these should have been the first through fifth red flags, but when Linda said, let me give it one more day, I acquiesced. The conversations that took place over the ensuing 24 hours are irrelevant. The kids had held the puppy, whom we were now definitely naming Echo, on our visit when she was all fluff and no substance. We were getting that dog. She was cute, I'll give you that. All black with a drop of white over her nose and under her chin, weighing in at all of 4 pounds. That first day, as we fell in love, she entertained us with her antics. And in between tricks, she lied all over us, and when no one was within collapsing on distance, she settled into a posture we came to call the flattest doggy in the world competition. That was the first day. The first night was different. As soon as I put her in her crate, she howled so miserably that several times I took her out to check for yellow jackets and hypodermic needles. If I slept at all that night, it was on top of the crate with all 10 fingers inside it. And things just got worse from there. Several days out, when she fell asleep on the floor and we tried to move her to her crate, she growled. Then she started to growl if we picked her up for any reason. Like most people, I was very familiar with the term, let sleeping dogs lie. But surely that didn't apply to 4 pound puppies. I knew something was wrong. Suddenly, all my original reasons for not getting a dog seemed silly. The drooling, the shedding, the muddy paws. I would have gladly traded it all for a good natured dog. But the kids were smitten, and my husband thought I was overreacting. I wasn't. I had done my research, and I recognized resource guarding when I saw it. I could distinguish between a glance and a whale eye from across the room, and I could detect a low growl from a mile away. An expert confirmed my worst fears. Not only did Echo have anxiety, which would soon cause her to bark and lunge at random strangers, but she also showed signs of something known as fear aggression, and her behavior was not inconsistent with the type of dog who might become a fear biter. Fear biter? Was no one else hearing this? Fortunately, for everyone but me, there was still time to save Echo from herself. We needed to do everything we could to keep her anxiety level low, pay attention to her cues, be exceedingly gentle in our training, introduce her only to people and dogs who didn't freak her out, and basically exercise her to death. 2 miracles occurred within the first month. First, because school started on the same week that Echo completed her shots, and because we always walked to school, Echo immediately had tons of exercise. Simultaneously, and for the same reasons, Echo met all of my kids' classmates right before she entered what my husband affectionately calls her full-blown Cujo phase. She loved every kid immediately, and we were pretty certain she wouldn't bite any of them. But the second an unknown child tried to approach her, even if she were surrounded by 20 known entities, she would let that one kid know with a loud and serious bark that they were not invited to the party. It was awful. At school, at the park, on the sidewalk, I was constantly patrolling for the unknown child, the one who would innocently make a beeline for the cutest, tiniest, fluffiest puppy they'd ever seen. I was consistently at the ready with a quick excuse, an exit strategy, or at the very least, a cheese stick. And the worst part was that I felt crazy because Echo was so good with the kids she knew, and they loved her so much. Now, I've always had an appreciation for people and pets who look alike: the old bald man with the bulldog, the blonde jogger with the golden retriever, the tall skinny couple with the pair of rescued greyhounds. And I'm sure it's no coincidence. People see their pets as extensions of themselves, and I am not immune. With the possible exception of middle school, I have always self identified as a nice person. I was the kid, then the adult, then the mom who said hello to everyone I walked past. I'm kind, inclusive, friendly. If I'm not, then who am I? Here are the questions I dreaded as walking Echo became my second job. Is your dog friendly? Can my child say hi to your puppy? Should we let the pups play? What kind of a monster says no? What kind of a jerk won't let a kid pet their dog? Who doesn't want to watch puppies play? These interactions sent my heart racing and kept it racing for hours. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. And because the only thing I knew to do to ease Echo's anxiety was to exercise her, I spent all my free time putting myself into precisely the situation that caused my own anxiety to spike. Somehow, over the course of her puppyhood, Echo made a lot of friends. She even took weekly walks with a small group of big dogs, and she was happy to run around an open field with one dog at a time. She also won a few theoretical awards in our extended friends and family circle. Hands down, most enthusiastic greeter. Ironically, gentlest taker of treats, and as long predicted, flattest doggy in the world. After a few years, the most embarrassing thing about Echo was the fact that she came from a breeder. What kind of a dog is she? A passerby would ask. When I told them she was a mini Labradoodle, they'd say, oh, ours is a rescue. Oh, well, I'd semi joke. Echo is a pre rescue. On a certain level, I did feel I was doing something good. Who else would keep a hyperactive, hysterical, incredibly voluminous barker who reacted to every falling leaf as if it were a concealed weapon being drawn? A dog who barked at anyone who looked at her for a little too long. I began first to tell my kids and later believe that Echo came to us as a reminder to appreciate our great good fortune. Not only is our family healthy and in so many ways privileged, but we are all mentally stable and play relatively well with others. How could we expect or ask for anything more? It's been almost 7 years now, and Echo still hasn't bitten anyone. She loves all humans who don't make the first move and any dog that doesn't want to actually touch her. And we can successfully walk down the street without any barking, though some of this is thanks in part to the pills our vet began prescribing for Echo when I told her that one of us would be starting anti-anxiety medication that afternoon. Echo's still not the smelly, messy, friendly puppy of our dreams. I hope she sticks around to keep reminding us of that for many years to come.